Hi there, and welcome to another story where English meets real life. Here, we don't just study words, we feel them through stories that matter. Today's story is about a man you may know, a man whose face is famous, but whose journey is deeper than the screen. This is about Robert De Niro. Not the actor in the spotlight, but the human being behind it. The son, the dreamer, the man with doubts, hopes, and courage. He grew up in a world full of noise, but found strength in silence. He faced fame, but held on to his roots. And through every role, every challenge, he stayed true to himself. This isn't just a story of acting or success. It's a story of identity, family, and finding your own voice when the world wants to shape it for you. So as you listen, let the words sink in. Learn with your ears, but also with your heart. Let's begin. Robert Anthony De Niro Jr. was born on August 17, 1943, in Manhattan, New York City, into a family of artists. His father, Robert De Niro Sr., was a respected abstract expressionist painter, and his mother, Virginia Admiral, was also an artist and poet. Though his parents divorced when he was just 2 years old, their bohemian influence would shape Robert's creative spirit. Raised in the heart of New York's Greenwich Village, De Niro was exposed to art, literature, and theater from a young age. Nicknamed Bobby Milk for his pale complexion, he was shy but observant, a trait that would later define his acting craft. De Niro's journey into acting began at the age of 10, when he played the Cowardly Lion in a school production of The Wizard of Oz. But it wasn't until his teenage years that he took acting seriously. At 16, he dropped out of high school to pursue acting full-time, studying at Stella Adler Conservatory and later at Lee Strasberg's Actors Studio. These schools emphasized method acting, an intense approach requiring actors to deeply embody their characters, an ideal fit for De Niro's obsessive commitment to craft. He immersed himself in the psychological depths of character, preparing for a lifelong reputation as one of the most dedicated actors of his generation. In the early 1970s, De Niro was a struggling actor, appearing in small roles in films like Greetings and The Wedding Party. But destiny struck when he met director Martin Scorsese. Their collaboration began with Mean Streets, 1973, where De Niro's portrayal of the reckless Johnny Boy caught Hollywood's attention. The raw energy he brought to the screen hinted at greatness. Then came The Godfather Part 2, 1974. As young Vito Corleone, De Niro gave a hauntingly subtle performance that earned him his first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. The quiet intensity he brought to the role was revolutionary, and it changed the game for actors in Hollywood. From the mid-1970s through the 1980s, De Niro's career soared. He formed a legendary partnership with Martin Scorsese, resulting in iconic films like Taxi Driver, 1976, Raging Bull, 1980, The King of Comedy, 1982, and Goodfellas, 1990. In Taxi Driver, his chilling line, "You talkin' to me?" became a cultural landmark. For Raging Bull, he gained over 60 pounds to portray boxer Jake LaMotta, winning his second Oscar. De Niro became the symbol of immersive acting, revered for disappearing into his roles with unmatched intensity. His performances were often emotionally raw, violent, and tragically human. As the 1990s unfolded, De Niro expanded beyond crime dramas. He surprised audiences with comedic talent in Analyze This, 1999, and Meet the Parents, 2000. These films showcased his range and willingness to poke fun at his tough guy image. In 1993, De Niro made his directorial debut with A Bronx Tale, a personal project that reflected his roots and values. In 2002, following the 9/11 attacks, he co-founded the Tribeca Film Festival to revive Lower Manhattan's cultural spirit. The festival has since become one of the most prestigious in the world, cementing his legacy not just as an actor but as a patron of the arts. Despite decades of brilliance, the 2000s and 2010s brought criticism. Some accused De Niro of taking roles in lower-quality films just for the paycheck. Titles like The Big Wedding and Dirty Grandpa were seen as beneath his legacy. Critics questioned if the icon had faded. But even in missteps, De Niro's screen presence remained magnetic. These years also saw his increased political activism, with De Niro speaking candidly about social issues and controversial leaders. While some praised his outspokenness, others argued it detracted from his mystique. Yet, even as roles became uneven, his influence remained untouchable. In 2019, De Niro reunited with Scorsese, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci for The Irishman. The film, a reflective meditation on time, regret, and loyalty, was a slow-burn epic. Though its digital de-aging technology received mixed reviews, De Niro's portrayal of Frank Sheeran was mournful, powerful, and quietly devastating. It was a reminder of the emotional depth he still possessed. Critics hailed the film as a triumphant return, and younger audiences rediscovered his brilliance. De Niro wasn't chasing youth, he was embracing legacy. He had evolved into an elder statesman of cinema. What separates Robert De Niro from his peers is his methodical approach. For Taxi Driver, he worked as a Real cab driver. For Raging Bull, he trained like a boxer for a year. For Cape Fear, he ground his teeth and paid $5,000 to make them appear menacing. De Niro has never simply played a role. He has lived it. His commitment borders on obsession, but it's what made him legendary. He is also notoriously private, preferring roles to speak for him. In an age of social media oversharing, his mystique is rare and revered. De Niro has won 2 Academy Awards and has been nominated 7 times. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016, has been honored with the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award, and was named a Kennedy Center honoree. In 2009, he received the Stanley Kubrick Britannia Award for Excellence in Film. Film schools analyze his work. Actors idolize him. Critics still regard Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and Goodfellas as some of the greatest films ever made. His influence is permanent, etched in Hollywood's foundation. Despite his fame, Robert De Niro remains grounded. He once said, "You learn from the part, you learn from the experience, you learn from life." He has endured personal loss, including the death of his father and his grandson, and has faced public scrutiny, health issues, and the complexities of fame. But through it all, he kept creating. His life is a story of grit, evolution, and authenticity. De Niro is more than an actor. He is a mirror of America's soul, capturing its violence, vulnerability, humor, and heart. He is in every sense a legend. Please like, subscribe, and share.